Listeners should be aware that the following program contains language and audio images which may be found disturbing and may not be suitable for your snotty-nosed little brat who probably cusses like a sailor behind your back anyway. Parental discretion is advised.
Daddy, I'm coming to see you at visiting hours next week. Mama ain't been doing too well, I'll tell you more when we speak. And Billy's loving high school. He's out there blocking for JV. I'm sure he's gonna come around by the time you get released. It's Friday night, the inmates go quiet. Listen for the voice, they know it's prison.
It's time to holler down the pipe chase and rattle them bars, because we're going to do a prison show for you right here at beautiful old, historic old, exciting new KPFT Houston, from the heart of Montrose, where we all hope tomorrow will be a better day.
I can see freedom, I will hold you once more. The man with no visitors, no money on the books. Remember, David's always gonna be here. You're never so alone. This ain't my love. Friday night, the inmates go quiet. Listen for a voice they know. It's prison radio. Prison radio.
Well, folks, it's Monday night. You're going to be hearing this on Friday night, but since pandemic, we're pre-recording on Monday evenings so everybody can take part and we can get it edited and turned in time. I know I explain that all the time, but we got new listeners every week and they need to know too. So tonight we've got a pretty good show lined up. David, as always, has put one together. Of course, the best thing, of course, is it starts with me. But, well, maybe that's not the best thing. But at any rate, we've got a kind of a sad thing, really. We're starting off this evening with a memorial because over the years, the prison show has lost a lot of important people to us and important to you, probably even more so than us, except they were our friends out here too. So we've got that. We've got Terry Pelz, who's a former warden, gang expert, author, and a professor of criminal justice at University of Houston downtown. So he's had a big career. And then we're going to move in with Dave Atwood, who I do not see on here yet. But Dave Atwood is our death penalty reporter, and he covers the death penalty generally speaking and nationally, whereas our Death Row Angels cover it here in Texas, more specific to the unit. And then Daniel Minisini, who I also don't see on here yet. Daniel, if you're listening, get your butt in gear and get on the line. Daniel's our bilingual reporter, and he will be talking about hopefully talking about Martina Grafaldo's award that she received Saturday from Houston Peace and Justice Conference. And I'm sure Dave Atwood could help flesh that out for us too. So, and then of course we go to our calls, the meat of the show. The prison show's been on coming on to 41 years now. And David and I were asked by Ray Hill to come and start taking part, volunteer, and we got involved. And some other folks over a period of time when Ray was trying to figure out what to do with the show did not last for one reason or another. They had careers, they had family involvement, they had speaking engagements that ate up their time. And David and I stuck, and we've got this crew together over the last 7.5 years that really is the best crew at KPFT, bar none. I like all the people at KPFT, but they don't have a crew like ours. And we also have if you look around, you got Di Conklin on tonight. She hadn't been with us in a little while, but we thank her for coming on. She's part of the crew. We want her back. As soon as we can get back in the studio, she can come take part that way. Or a studio. We'll see. But on the memorial note, I've got 2 pages of stuff here on people that have been good friends of the prison show, regular guests, people of importance to us, both professionally on the show and personally, because we know these folks. So we wanted to take a little time. We just had a death this last week, and we wanted to take a little time and observe the passing of these folks. And some of them have been gone for a while, but we're going to mention them anyway. Friends, you've heard us play many times. Jimmy Lee Dean, who played for KPFT many times at fundraising events, and all the folks at Last Concert Cafe will know him, and longtime listeners of KPFT, people that went to the Watermelon Festival, Summer Social and Dance, will know him for many years. Jimmy Lee Dean, who was a guitar player, singer, kind of a local rock icon, who passed this last week from a fast-moving cancer. And, there's nothing you can really say about that, except I'm thankful that it wasn't one of the long, lingering illnesses that some people with cancers go through. Jimmy was a nice guy, really good-hearted, kind of his own worst enemy, just like I always was and still am, for that matter. But anyway, to Jimmy, your family and friends, we offer our condolences, and we want you to know we're sad that you're not with us anymore. Then there's Bill Pelkey, and Dave Atwood talked a little about it on his passing, but he just recently passed, and he was a death penalty abolitionist for many years, involved nationally and everything. He passed away at his home in Anchorage, Alaska, November 12th. And he was involved across the country, many protests and things. And here in Texas, he and David worked together on many things. And, we all know from years of study that the death penalty doesn't stop crime. It doesn't stop murders. If it did, we've had it our entire history except for 26 years. And if it was going to stop them, it would have stopped them by now, or could have. But it doesn't. And his work was to try and end and abolish the death penalty. And we have very few states still practicing it, and the feds now are in a rush to practice it, but which I'm sure has Bill spinning right now. But he's one of the people like Dave Atwood that has spent many, many years trying to work on this issue. And I don't know what else to say about it. The guy deserves all our thanks, and I know you guys on death row know who he is, so I will leave that with you. Wayne Waldo, who is a longtime friend of the prison show, passed away in June of 2019, and he was often a guest on the show back when Ray was a host and still with us. And he worked helping the inmates and their families, and he was also Knights of Columbus and a service worker at his church, which was Sacred Heart Catholic Church out by Conroe. And he just was generally of service to human beings. And that, that's the kind of person we should all aspire to be. Chuck Hurt, who passed away 7 years ago, but Chuck was one of those guys that was a friend of the prison show, a friend of Ray, an advocate, a tireless advocate, worked on tons of stuff. He helped Bill Hayburn when he got out, and, Bill works on parole cases. So even though he was out and, had his parole and everything, he was busy helping others as well. So we want to note his passing. He went to Austin in the battle over telephones with the Ray Hill bill when they were trying to get phones into TDCJ. And he carried recordings of some of the callers and the little girls that sang the songs, Happy Birthday and You Are My Sunshine and all that. He carried those recordings to Austin with him and played them for lawmakers. And it was a compelling argument for putting phones in and keeping the communications between families open. And thank you for, to the folks in Austin for passing the Ray Hill bill and getting phones into TDCJ. And Chuck was part of that, an important part of that, as well as a friend of the show for those years. And then there's Tammy Payden, an attorney who was a friend of the show and worked on, I don't know how many thousands of cases, I guess, suing TDCJ when issues came up that needed lawsuits, and working with parole cases, various things. I think when she passed, there were about 900 cases outstanding that had her name on them. And our friend Tanika Solomon was able to go through and screen those cases and notify people of Tammy's passing. And she was able to accept some of the cases and carry on that work, but 900 is just too much. So it shows you the level of involvement Tammy actually had herself in working with people and trying to help people. And I'm sure I'm missing something about Tammy too. Maybe David will come back here in a minute and help me out with that. David also wanted us to mention Marta Glass, who, Marta was a big friend of KPFT, a big friend of the prison show, a great advocate, worked on a number of issues, but the one we know her for is working with inmates and their families. Ray said she's actually one of those people that is really an advocate that is really as mad as she seems to be. And that he was impressed by that all the time, It's just one of those things, some people, I'm upset about this issue, but she was mad and stayed mad about it until something happened. So that's the kind of dedication that we all hope that people in advocacy work have and will aspire to if they don't have it. We want to send our condolences out to our friend Quincy McNeil, whose wife just recently passed, and know that prayers and thoughts and prayers of the folks here at the prison show are with him and his family and her friends. And we just wanted to be sure and mention that. Quincy, we want to have you on the show.
For those of you that don't realize that Quincy is Rodney Reed's attorney.
Right. Yeah, which there's a mess in its own. Yeah. We also need to mention our good friend Jim Skelton, who passed away in March 2017. Jim was both a great friend of the show, but he also had a very long time law career. And even when he ran into his own troubles and stuff, he didn't stop. He would actually hold workshops down in the courthouse at lunchtime and stuff. He had a little room down there that they allowed him to go in and do workshops in the courthouse. So he was busy teaching even towards the end there. And always on the show, he was a mentor to us. When we had legal questions, we could go to Jim and he would talk to us about it. And he would come on the show and enlighten everybody. He was just one of those guys with a deep, a depth of knowledge about the law that was probably second to none here in Houston.
You had to watch his words, though. He'd tell you like it was.
Well,
he didn't cut any punches.
Yeah, we had to use the red button a few times. Yeah. Now, let me see. Where does that bring me on my list here? It's a pretty good list already. We got Jim. And, I'll say that it was the same for all of these folks that I've mentioned. They've all been good friends of the show. They've all been good friends to inmates, parolees, their families, supporters of the work, supporters, advocates, activists when need be, and have all made a difference. And that brings me around to the next three, or the last three I'm going to try and talk about this evening. The first being Frank Dewey. Dewey was he was an ex-convict, that's true, but he spent 28 years after he got out as the chief sound engineer for the prison show. He did it for Ray for 25 plus years, and he did it for over 3 years for us until his passing. And his passing was quite a little story too. There we had a few things go on with that, but what people will remember Dewey for is his little gruff exterior, you know, his little grumpy old man thing that he did to kind of hide what he really was, which was a big, sweet, or not big, but little sweet teddy bear. He was one of those guys that really cared about people, and if you were his friend, you were his friend, and he'd stand up and fight for you, even if the other guy was twice as big. So he didn't care about any of that. He just wanted to stand for what was right about things. And just, 28 years is some dedication to anything. And he was there week in, week out, doing it for us, shushing us, telling us, stop tapping the mic, don't tap the table, all the things that he did to help make the show better. So we miss Dewey, and we thank him for his years of service to us. And Dewey, if you're out there, man, we love you. That brings us to Ray Hill. Ray got involved with KPFT about 1968 as they were starting to talk about how to form this station, making the first plans with the first few people that were involved. And, they got the station up and running. We went through the 2 bombings. Ray then ran into his own legal problems and went to TDCJ. And he had, quite a stack of years and cases against him, but he was able to go to work and start doing his own work on it and got his cases. He'd get one whipped down and then another one whipped down, and eventually he got himself out. And he came back to KPFT, and I had some shirts made once that said a Texas Radio Intuition. They were supposed to say Texas Radio Institution because the show was getting to be 40 years old, but they were misprinted, and Ray wanted one of those real bad, so I gave him one of them, and I don't even know what I did with the rest of them. Probably sent them back or something, but it was a Texas Radio Intuition that started the prison show. Ray's intuition that there was such a need for this show. And for 40 and a half years now, this show's been on thanks to Ray Hill. Now, well, you all know what Ray means to us. He was a mentor to David and I. We could call him with anything. I know Mike's talked to him many times, and Dave, and everybody involved with the show has had lots of contact with Ray. And that brings us up to Michael Allen, who just passed this last week. And Michael, as you all know, is a friend of the show. He's another one of those guys that was angry about the way things are going, the way things go for inmates, the way things go with the border wall, the way things go at Standing Rock. He was a water protector there, and one of his final wishes is that his ashes be spread there in the springtime when people have had a chance to get around pandemic some and start recovering as the vaccines and stuff become more available. And he wanted people to have time to plan and be able to get up there, the ones that that know where the camp is and want to go. And he was going to fight the cancer. Another one with cancer. He was going to fight that pretty good, but it ate him up so fast that there was really nothing that anybody could do to save him. By the time he found out, he was already stage 4. You folks know him for coming on the show and talking about how the system is set up to keep prisons full. And there are 2 sides to that view and everything. Nobody's getting rich off of it, which a lot of people think somebody's making money, but making your little TDCJ salary is it's not a big scam. At any rate, we wanted to remember Mike, because we love him and we're sorry about his passing. I hope his friends and family and all the people, the many, many people that I've seen post about him on his page, all their remembrances of him, I hope those things last. I hope those memories last. So we want to thank all these people, all these great friends of the prison show, all these great people, great advocates, great activists, and great servants. we want to thank them all for their lives of service. And with that, I will sign off for this portion of the show, and I will invite Terry Pelz. I see him. Okay, here he is. Terry, how you doing?
Doing great, Hank. Thanks.
Well, I hate to put you on the heels of a memoriam, but you know, the show is what it is, and we have yay much time, and we want to include you. So, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, better than I deserve.
Well, that's the way I feel too. But I'm like $1 million every day, so I can't even explain it. All right, so you've had a major career here. You've been a warden. You, as it turns out, ended up being an expert on gangs, starting with, I believe, the Aryan Brotherhood in the beginning, but that boils over into every other gang. So in some way, the relationships or the battles or whatever. And also taught criminal justice at University of Houston downtown. What you want to take those in order? Kind of tell us about them?
That's fine. What do you want to hear first?
What came first, warden? Did warden
Well,
come before?
no. I started in 1976, which was TDC then, and moved up through the ranks. And I left in 96. So I was there almost 21 years. And then I went to work off in the private corrections industry and stayed there a couple of years. I'd had about enough of that. And my wife had taken a sabbatical from the U of H downtown, and she went back to teaching, and I went into consulting. And mostly what I did in consulting was testify in the punishment case and capital murder trial for the defense. And then when she was dean for a while at the University of Houston downtown. And when she stepped down, I stepped in teaching. I was teaching before that, started in 2009, and then I started teaching at UHD in 2014.
Okay, so you're coming from the other side of the fence. David and I are both ex-convicts. Dewey was an ex-convict. Ray was an ex-convict. Most of the rest of our crew, thankfully, does not have TDCJ numbers or California Department of Correction numbers like I have. But we always want to kind of present both sides. I mean, we are news media in a sense, and we want people to get both sides of the issues. People have spent decades butting heads back and forth with, between law enforcement and families of inmates and that sort of stuff, or the inmates themselves. And, we value when somebody like yourself comes on and can give us a different perspective. As your years with TDCJ, or in your years with TDCJ, what do you see as some of the biggest issues facing TDCJ?
Well, I know back in the day, when I say back in the day, I'm talking about the 80s, and then when we were dealing with the gangs and dealing with Ruiz. Most people you talk to don't know a thing about prisons, could care less. They will pay their taxes and, say lock them up and throw away the key. They don't care about prisons. And 95% of inmates come back to society. And it's incumbent upon us to be able to educate the public. I do this with my students. Most of them want to be in law enforcement or probation officers or parole officers. Few want to be a guard. I had to do, I went to work for TDC. And I'm working in the cell block, rolling doors and with a college degree. And people say, what the hell are you doing here? Well, because I got to eat. And I had no intention of going to work for TDC. I went up to SAM to work on my master's, and it took me 30 years to get that. But I had to eat, so I went to work for the prison system, and so I stayed a while and enjoyed every bit of it. I don't regret ever having gone to work for the prison system. Was it a piece of cake? No, it was not a piece of cake. But I think the general public, the people in the free world, need to know about their prisons, because most people know somebody or have somebody in prison. And I tell my students, and I look at them, you know, there's 30 or 40 in the class, and I'll tell them 1 or 2 of you statistically will go to the penitentiary. And of course, they look at each other and say, well, it's not going to be me.
Right.
And I say, well, there for the grace of God go I. You know, if you're going to a party and you're driving drunk and you kill somebody, you're likely going to go to the penitentiary. So don't make stupid mistakes. And people make stupid mistakes. And I try to instill in them about the criminal justice system, particularly when I teach prisons classes. You know, people deserve second chances. These people are coming home. These are people like you and me, somebody that you know. It could be you. And I've had ex-inmates in my classes. I've had many, many people who have family members in prison, and they understand. They get it. And I think what we need to do is educate the public on our prisons and make them understand that, no, you don't say, I'll pay whatever it takes to lock them up. You do what you can about giving people second chances and making sense and being smart on crime.
Yeah, I like that term, smart on crime. We don't hear it a lot.
Well, you know, even today, I could say that probably 80% of people in the penitentiary could be released without harm to public safety. Now, violent offenders are one thing, but nonviolent offenders are another thing. And, you know, we're changing our drug laws. When we change our drug laws, we have to look at the prison population and say, okay, cut them loose. You know, there's people, when I went to work for TDC, there were people doing 50 and 60 years, a couple ounces of marijuana. Now, how ridiculous would that be today? It would be a traffic ticket, maybe, you know. So what are we doing? We need to, it's the prison industrial complex. People say, well, that's a liberal term. No, it's not a liberal term. It's a reality term. And this is the things we have to look at and be, like I say, be smart on crime and understand there are alternatives to prison. And we need to explore those things. We have the veterans courts, we have the drug courts, we have the mental health courts. You know, that's something to look at, to expand. But we can't throw the baby out with the bathwater. We got to do better with our youth and make them understand and get out there and talk to them. Look, you have choices in life. The power to change comes from inside, not outside. You are the one who has to do it.
Well, that's all common sense stuff to me. And I don't know, I spent 20 years before I came to the prison show working with inmates, ex-offenders, their families, and nonprofits. And those things just ring a bell with me. They're very common sense. We need to get you and Frans Dow, who was a warden over 5 units in the Netherlands. And before he retired, was able to close 2 of those units by using that kind of approach. And I thank you for saying those things.
Well, you know, Bob Bullock once said, and some of you know who Bob Bullock was and some of you don't. He was a former lieutenant governor. He said one day, I want to celebrate the closing of prisons. And we're seeing the closing of prisons now. There's many factors affecting the inmate population, COVID being one of them. But we are getting smarter on crime. We've got a few good leaders in the state legislature that want to see changes. And, you know, I want to kick the parole board in their butt. They need to get off their asses and go to work. And we've got some people in prison who have made parole but can't get out because the programming's not available. Well, you know what? Too bad. Do it when they get out. There's plenty of resources to do that programming when you're out.
Yeah, there are tons of nonprofits doing the work, and we could model things after places like California's a little more forward thinking on this stuff, and they've expanded their drug courts and things during the time I was working in nonprofits there. And really largely due to the work of the nonprofits out there, they were able to lower recidivism by 15% during the time I was working it. And we found towards the end of that, law enforcement was coming to us, asking us to get involved so they could go after some of the newer federal funding that became available, now, probably 20 years ago, started being really more available. And they had the infrastructure for all the accounting and, oversight. And we had the hands-on work that they needed done. You know? And that kind of marriage of
Well, you know,
programs.
it's a lot cheap. It's a lot cheaper to, yeah,
Go ahead.
a lot cheaper to do it on the outside than the inside in the first place. You know,
Yeah.
it's more cost effective. It's more cost effective. I don't think rehab really works inside the penitentiary. Now, I know you have your vocational programs, which is a good thing, and some of the drug abuse programs, but the aftercare component, when you get out of the penitentiary, is better in the free world and a lot cheaper in the free world than it is in the penitentiary. You know, you got this conflict in the penitentiary and rehab program, security versus control versus rehab, and that's not a good mix.
And one thing I can say about rehab in the penitentiary is I went through the Kyle unit, and I went through the rehab before I got out. I didn't go back in prison. I went and I did the Kyle unit program for 6 months, and what it taught me how to, it was like a society. I mean, we had like our own police force, we had our own mayor, we had our own teachers, and we taught ourselves how to be a productive member of our own society, and we had to learn how to take care of ourselves, or the counselors or the guards would step in, and then we'd all be punished. And we successfully did that.
Well, you're not telling you.
Did that for about 6 months, but then whenever we hit the streets, we were able to put all that to practice. And I have to agree with Terry, if you go back into prison after the rehab, it's wasted time. But whenever you get out from the rehab into the streets, then I think that it's a good thing.
Hey, I gotta say, the Kyle unit kind of sounds like a building tender system.
And you know, the funny thing about the building tender system is Ray Hill was a building tender. I went down right after the Ruiz stipulation, and they told me that an inmate will never have a set of keys. Here's your keys. So it was pretty much a building tender system anyway. Whenever I went down in 1990, they didn't change.
Well, you know, back then it was already against state law to let an inmate supervise another inmate, but they didn't care about it. The system did. I mean, quite frankly, I was raised by building tenders when I first came in. You know, they taught me the ropes, and you know, there were some good things about the building tender system, and some very bad things about the building tender system. If you were to ask me, I was more a proponent of the building tender system because prisons are like little cities. It's inmate control because the inmates let us run it. We lead by consent, you know, so thank goodness most inmates behave. But yeah, I mean, it was a quieter place back then with the building tender system, even though it was a very violent type of system. And that was really the bad thing about it.
I have a question about violence. Use of force has gone up, even though TDCJ population has gone down significantly since maybe like, well, I don't know, 2002 or 2004, around in there. But the percentages of use of force cases have gone up a lot. Any insights on that?
Well, I think we got some people who are having cabin fever right now. If you're stuck in your cell basically 24 hours a day, you're going to go nuts.
Well, I mean, even before
pandemic. So yeah, that's a training issue. That is a training issue. I have a message board called TexasJustice.org message board, and on there every day I put up promotions, who was promoted in the system, and the turnover in supervisors is unbelievable. I mean, you're getting scores of supervisors being promoted every week on units. They don't stay there long. They're hiring supervisors or promoting supervisors who have little prison experience. You know, in my day, when we dealt with inmates, if you knew how to deal with inmates, it was called convicting. You knew how to convict. You knew how to treat inmates. You drew the line in the sand. You were firm, fair, and consistent. And when inmates know where you stand, they feel safer and they respect the system. And I think we have a bunch of staff in there who aren't properly trained, who don't know how to deal with inmates. and some inmates just don't know how to deal with the new type of officer. And so
I
thus
think
you
that's
have more uses of force.
I think
Go
that's
ahead.
very valid. You know, I bring up the issue of the culture in TDCJ because the people at the top now are people that were there a very long time and carried that culture up each step of
Right.
the ladder with them. And it makes it nearly impossible to change the culture. And what you're talking about, the people being moved up more rapidly, while it does raise that really serious training issue, it also makes me think in some way maybe there's a possibility of change in the future if some of those people come up fast enough with different ideas.
Well, you know, when I came up in the system, when I first started in TDC in 76, we had 17 prison units, and we probably had 20,000 inmates.
Mhm.
And by the time I left, we had 100 units and 150,000 inmates. So you saw the culture change with Ruiz. You saw the culture change with the demise of the building tender system. But the culture, there's one thing about prisons. The more things change, the more they stay the same. If you can understand that. Most people don't, because they didn't work in the old days, what I call the old days. Compared to, I could not go back to work in the penitentiary today, because when I left, I had more trouble with officers than I did inmates. We didn't screen officers well enough, and I don't know that they're screened any better today. It's just a whole different culture. You're absolutely right. We were a family back then. We took care of each other. We took care of the inmates took care of us. And as the years went up, the use of force went up, the inmate population became younger, it became more violent. You had more inmate on inmate violence, thus the gangs. You had more violence of inmate on officer and officer on inmate. And I've had some friends who worked for TDC that went to the federal prison because of bad uses of force, and then cover it up. You know, if you did something wrong, owe up to it. I mean, it's no different in the convict world than it is in the free world for us. Own up to your mistakes. You may get fired, you might not get fired, you may be suspended, whatever, but don't ever lie. There's reason to lie. There's no reason to cover up.
Yeah, you get in worse trouble for that.
The main job for the main job for me and everybody else is that we house, clothe, feed, and keep inmates safe. That's our only task in the prison. It's not my job to rehabilitate. I leave that to the professionals. But the prison definitely has changed. I could not go back and work in it. I don't know that I'd be able to keep my hands in my pockets, because I'd probably slap an officer or two, to be quite honest with you.
Well, Terry, we are out of time, and we're actually a little over, but I wanted to thank you for coming on. And I'm going to ask David to have you back, and hopefully we can get you and Franz Dow on the same time and have a conversation about the ideas that you share with him, and compare that with the success he's had using that type of thinking. I sure appreciate it.
Well, I'd be happy to. You bet.
All right. Thank you.
I'll see you.
Have a great evening.
Later.
All right. Okay, now let me get with Dave Atwood, which there you are. Dave, how you doing? Unmute. There we go. Now you're all right.
Okay,
Yeah.
you can hear me now? Yeah, that was great having Terry on. Wow, that experience is super duper. I'd like to get him to sometime address the Texas Coalition to Abolish the Death Penalty. And I don't know what his thoughts are on the death penalty, but he's got so much experience and he seems like such a great guy. I would love to have him come on and talk to some other groups. I think he'd be great.
Smart on crime.
Smart on crime, man. That's what we need to learn. And it's not just death penalty issues, it's all criminal justice issues. So thanks, Terry, for being on. And thanks for having him on, Hank and Mike. Well, look, today is December 7th. it's quite, December 7th is quite a day. I mean, it's Pearl Harbor Day. It's the day one of my daughters was born. And it was also the day in 1982 when they started up the death penalty again in Texas. And Charlie Brooks was executed. So since that time, we have had 570 people executed in the state of Texas. That's almost 5 times any other state in the nation. And, you know, I talk about this every now and then because Texas is not normal when it comes to the death penalty. It's abnormal, the way that this state has pursued the death penalty over the years. And how much time do I have tonight, Hank? I got a little thing I wanted to read real quick.
Well, go
2 more
ahead.
minutes? Huh?
Go ahead. You got a few minutes.
Okay, I want to, every now and then, I want to highlight somebody who was on death row, and sometimes it'll be somebody that was exonerated, sometimes it'll be somebody that was actually executed. And I wanted to just read this little thing about a guy named Jonathan Nobles, who was on death row in Texas. And he ended up on death row because of the murder of Mitzi Johnson Malley and Kelly Farquhar in 1986. Jonathan was a drug addict, and he was high on drugs and alcohol when he broke into a woman's North Austin apartment and killed one. But while he was in prison, he became a very religious person and eventually became a what they call a third order Dominican, a lay brother in the 500-year-old religious order. However, this conversion did not save his life. Bishop Edmund Carmody, Father Stephen Walsh, Father Stephen Walsh did ministry on death row for many years. And Deacon Richard Lopez, a lot of people recognize that name, and singer-songwriter Steve Earle, who has become very well known now in the music industry. All of those people witnessed his execution on October 7th, 1998. In his last words, Jonathan first said, "I know that some of you won't believe me, but I'm truly sorry for what I've done. I'm sorry. I wish I could bring her back to you." Now, those are words he said while laying on the gurney about to be executed. He then quoted 1 Corinthians 12 from the New Testament. "If I speak in tongues of men and angels, but have not love, I am only a resounding gong or a clanging cymbal. Love is patient, love is kind, love never fails. And now these 3 remain, faith, hope, and love. And the greatest of these is love." Remember, he's on the gurney saying these words. Jonathan then said, "Father, into thy hands I commend my spirit." And he began to sing, "Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin, mother and child." The word child was the last word that Jonathan said while laying on the gurney. He never finished the song. He then died from the chemical poisons coursing through his body. So I bring up Jonathan's case to highlight the fact that, okay, there's some people who've gone to death row for horrible crimes, but so many, and I have visited many of these men that have just changed while they're on death row. You know, a lot of people say, well, they don't believe in rehabilitation. They don't believe people can change. But the reality is that people do change. When they get in prison, when they get on death row in particular, they've got lots of times to think about what they did, about their life. A lot of them become educated, they read, they have spiritual counseling, They have friends that come in and talk with them, and they do change. I've seen this change in a number of people. And I can't, I mean, for me, it's just another reason why we should abolish the death penalty. Because people do change. Even when they've done horrible things, they do change. And again, we don't have any reason whatsoever to execute somebody, because even if they don't change, they'll be in prison. Okay, we have a very secure prison system, and people that don't think it's secure, I mean, the record is one of security. They're very secure. So we don't need this death penalty. We don't need it. We're up at 570 executions since 1982. I think we got 5 or 6 more scheduled already next year. We don't need to do this. We really don't need to do this. Even if somebody has done something horrible, we can have a more enlightened perspective on life and the value of life. And believe me, a lot of us have done things that are not anything that we would be proud of. So this is another appeal for me. Every now and then I'm going to bring up somebody who I knew on death row or I know about on death row. And boy, you know, I'd love to get some of these, someday I'd really love to get Steve Earle on this show. He's pretty famous now.
I know some folks that know him. I could ask.
Yeah, I think we ought to try to get Steve to come on, even if it was over the telephone and or on Zoom. And the first time I met Steve was outside of the Walsh unit during a protest, and he was up there singing Ellis Unit 1, that very famous song that he had years ago. Maybe he could come on and sing that song too. Anyway, that's my little report for tonight.
Well, Dave, thank you very much. I sure appreciate it. And you know,
one other thing, Hank, let me just say, you mentioned the people tonight that have passed away, and I sure support all those good words you said about the people that I know, Ray, Mike, and the others. Dewey, Dewey would always tell me I didn't have the mic in the right place. And he was good at correcting your manners on the radio. So thank you.
well, thank you. Daniel Minisini, our bilingual reporter. What do you got for us?
Muy buenas noches, Hank. Hello, everybody. Well, we have here today an article that I'm going to translate from El País, which is one of the main journals in Europe that is talking about the situation about the death penalty in the United States, and also summing up what happened with the Houston Peace and Justice Center Awards, where Martina Grifaldo, she was a recipient of these awards. I would like to start from this because Martina Grifaldo is from Dolores Hidalgo, Guanajuato, in Mexico. She's a 56-year-old. Voy a traducir esto también en español para decir que Martina Grifaldo, que es la directora de Alianza Latina Internacional, ha ganado el premio de Houston Peace and Justice Centers, que da un premio cada año. Es una mujer de 56 años que llegó a Estados Unidos como una inmigrante de México, así, intentando encontrar su sueño, y trajo aquí su familia. Y Martina y su familia estuvieron aquí en Houston, se han quedado en Houston y ha empezado una carrera de voluntaria enseñando a los inmigrantes, a los viejetes que están aquí, que no sabían ni siquiera escribir y leer en español, y empezó a hacerlo en la iglesia de San Carlos Borromeo. So this is the history of Martina Grifaldo, 56 years old, that she came to the United States, specifically here in Houston, just pursuing, you know, the American dream for her and her family. And they arrived here in Houston, and Martina started her volunteer career teaching the elderly immigrants, those old people that they didn't even know how to write and read in English, and she did that in the San Carlos Borromeo Church. Martina is the founder of a non-profit organization, the one that is called Alianza Latina Internacional. And through this organization, Martina had the opportunity to serve the immigrants and the refugee community members. So ultimately, Martina plans to continue advocating for immigrants. So we are very proud that we have Martina here in Houston working on this topic. Y quiero traducirlo también en español para que sepáis todos vosotros que habláis español, entendéis español, la comunidad latina, que Martina es la que ha ganado este premio de Houston Peace and Justice Center y que tiene la organización que he dicho se llama Alianza Latina Internacional, a través de la cual Martina ayuda a los inmigrantes, a los refugiados, a las comunidades que tienen estas personas que vienen de otros países y hablan español, y va a seguir ayudando a esta comunidad, tal como lo ha hecho en el pasado y tal como lo ha hecho de manera tan elevada y tan propicia que ha llegado a ganar este gran premio de Houston Peace and Justice Center. Then on the other side, I would like to highlight the news, the international news that they have in Texas, United States and Texas in the as a focus for the death penalty, so a little bit echoing what Dave was saying. In this case, coming from one of the main journals in Spanish language, El País. This was published yesterday. I'm going to read it in Spanish. It talks about the very sad situation about this president that is pursuing to facilitate the executions, the federal executions, as anybody else in the last couple of centuries. Bueno, pues esto es un artículo del País en el que se dice que este jueves, Día Internacional de los Derechos Humanos, en la prisión federal de Indiana, el gobierno de Estados Unidos aplicará una inyección letal a Brandon Bernard, un afroamericano de 40 años, por participar en el robo que terminó en doble asesinato, que él no ejecutó cuando tenía tan solo 18 años. So I will remember that December the 10th, it will be the day of human rights internationally and supported by the United Nations. Como decía, Brandon Bernard contó con una defensa deficiente. De los 12 miembros del jurado que le condenó, todos menos uno eran blancos. Ahora, 5 de ellos en este momento dicen que no debería ser ejecutado. Una fiscal que contribuyó a su condena, que se llama Angela Moore, escribió hace 2 semanas en un artículo de opinión del periódico de Indianapolis que, entre comillas, ejecutar a Brandon sería una terrible mancha en el honor de la nación. Al día siguiente, después de ejecutar a Brandon Bernard, sería el turno de Alfred Bourgeois, de 56 años, que torturó y asesinó a su propia hija en el 2002. Sus abogados alegan que tiene una demencia grave que le impide comprender por qué va a ser ejecutado. Un mes después, el 12 de enero, está programada la muerte de Lisa Montgomery, la primera mujer que ejecutará el gobierno federal en 70 años. Sometida a incesto, torturada durante años, prostituida salvajemente por su madre y esterilizada a la fuerza, esta mujer, Lisa Montgomery, es una enferma mental grave que estranguló a una mujer embarazada de 8 meses y le arrebató el bebé para cuidarlo como si fuera suyo. El 14 de enero, la muerte espera a Corey Johnson, cuyos abogados aseguran que posee un coeficiente intelectual de 69, que está por debajo del límite que el Tribunal Supremo utiliza para determinar si una ejecución es un castigo demasiado cruel. Al día siguiente, 5 días antes de que el presidente Trump abandone la Casa Blanca, su gobierno se dispone a matar a Dustin Higgs, el 4º afroamericano de los 5 condenados por participar en el asesinato de 3 mujeres a las que él no disparó. Constituyen casi un catálogo perfecto del tipo de casos que no deberían resultar en pena de muerte. dice Robert Dunham, director ejecutivo del Centro de Información sobre la Pena de Muerte. Bajo la presidencia de este presidente Trump, este año se habrán llevado a cabo más ejecuciones federales, serán 10, con Bernard y Bourgeois, que en ningún otro año de los últimos 2 siglos. Esto sucede en contra de la tendencia histórica y mientras el apoyo de los ciudadanos a la pena de muerte continúa erosionándose y se sitúa en su mínimo de los últimos 47 años. Por primera vez en la historia, según una encuesta de Gallup de noviembre, la mayoría de los ciudadanos estadounidenses, más o menos un 60%, prefiere que se imponga la cadena perpetua que la pena capital. Y hasta 20 estados han abolido las ejecuciones y hoy se realizan en menos de la mitad de los estados de Estados Unidos. Este será el año en que más ejecuciones federales habrá en los últimos 2 siglos y a la vez será el año en que menos ejecuciones de los estados habrá en los últimos 37 años. Hay más de 2.500 personas en el corredor de la muerte en Estados Unidos. Solo 45 de ellas están en el corredor de la muerte federal. Esto es porque en general son los estados los responsables del enjuiciamiento criminal. El gobierno federal interviene cuando el delito se produce en suelo federal, como es el caso de Bernard, o cuando los fiscales federales de distrito consideran que deben personarse por la especial gravedad del delito. En estos casos federales, el Departamento de Justicia establece la fecha de la ejecución y el presidente tiene la capacidad de intervenir, aplazando las fechas o concediendo clemencia a los reos. En una campaña marcada por el debate de la discriminación racial y los disturbios en las ciudades, ambos candidatos, Joe Biden y Donald Trump, han defendido sus trayectorias en el asunto de la reforma del sistema de justicia penal. Y estas diferencias son enormes, como sabéis. Por una parte, Trump hace años, 17 años antes de que se candidase como presidente, que ya proporcionaba sus gustos hacia favorecimiento de la pena de muerte, y Joe Biden, que es uno de los primeros candidatos desde 1988 que corre sobre una plataforma en la que dice que está contra la pena de muerte. Bueno, veremos cuál es la situación y según la encuesta de Gallup se apoya la pena de muerte para asesinos convictos un 56% de los estadounidenses, pero en el 94 eran 80%. Hoy en día los jóvenes y las personas no blancas son quien más la rechazan, lo que indica que el país se aleja cada vez más demográficamente de la pena capital. So this was all for tonight. Dan, I tried to summarize the situation about the death penalty in the United States nationwide and in specific about Texas with this U.S. administration. Buenas noches a todos. Hi, Hank, KPFT, Houston.
Okay, well that caused we're running a little over, so we had to cut out our break song, folks. So if you missed the music, it's just because you got more important information. So thank you for bearing with us on that. And now, rather than the break song, it's time for us to go to our callers. And our first recorded call is Charles.
Hi, Chris. This for you and Papa and y'all. We're going to be coming your way again, so stay on there for Miss Vicky. But I just sent y'all one. We're just testing this out on my phone so we can see if it's working right. Like I said, I'm having to use a smartphone for dummies, so bear with me. This is going to be real short, man. I love you boys. Take care.
Okay. Diana, how you doing?
I'm good. Thank you, Hank. Hi, everybody.
Huh?
Hi. Just want to send a shout out to my son over at the Pelkey unit. Hi, Johnny. I love you. I'm glad we got to talk the other day. I hope you can call me tomorrow. I also want to send a shout out to Robert Valle. I tried calling your mom. I sent her a message, and I'll try check in with her, see if she left me a message on Facebook. And also to Miguelito, my son's new Sally. Hi, Miguelito. And I'm glad that we were able to talk a few times the other day as well. And hopefully they'll get the phones in order. I know the phones keep breaking over there. So hopefully AT&T will fix the phones for, they'll last some time. So I'm going to send you a JPay in the morning and send you the addresses. I love you so much. God bless you. And I'll send you a JPay in the morning, and I hope that you can hear the radio on Friday night. I love you. I love you. I love you.
All right. We're ready for Crash's call now.
Shout out to my brothers over there on Darrington Unit. What's up, C-Line? What's up, Walmart? Hope you're holding your head up, brother. Hope Megan's gotten a hold of you with some good news by now. I hope you was able to catch my last little old shout out. Love y'all, homeboys. If there's anything I can do for you, that just hit me up. Let me know. Those books that you asked for, I'm having a hard time finding those two, but I'll keep on the lookout for you. Love you, homeboy. What's up, Dusty? Hope you hear my last little shout out. I love you, homeboy. I know things have been tough for you in there. Keep your head up. Just know that you got somebody out here rooting for you. I miss you, homeboy. Keep your head up. Be on the lookout for a letter from me. Love you, homeboy. Another shout out goes to Brandon, a.k.a. B9. What's up, Tom? What's up, homeboy? Hey, let me know if you need any books, any magazines or anything. I got you. Be on the lookout for a snail mail from me. I'm going to send you a visitation list. I want you to put a couple of names on there so we can at least start to come and see you or get you some e-coms up in there. All right, homeboy? Much love and respect. Shout out to that old rifle, man. What's up, Bubba? Hope all is well with you. Keep your head up. I know the holidays are coming around the corner and things can be depressing, but keep your head up. Love and respect. Shout out to Hoss. What's up, big homie? Heard you went over there to D-Line. You need to get your act together, homeboy. Love and respect. Shout out to Casper. What's up, brother? Much love and respect to you as well. Shout out to Chimako. What's up, homeboy? Hey, Bubba. Went up there to City Lights, man. Didn't see you around. Still got that cold Budweiser for you. Shout out to Plex. What's up, Bubba? Much love and respect to you, too. Shout out to Mr. Fred. Much love and respect. I love you, brothers. Keep y'all's heads up. I know this holiday is going to bring things down, but it's a new year, new beginning. Love and respect.
Okay. Lovina, are you ready to go?
Sorry.
There you go.
Yeah, thank y'all so much. Giving a shout out to my other half, Jeffrey Perkins on the High Tower unit and P-Wing. Sweetheart, I love you so much. I just wrote you a letter, so you'll get that. I'm glad the mail seems to be much better, so that's good. My foot is hurting really, really bad, so I don't know if I hurt it walking or what, but I'm gonna take your advice and I've already soaked it, so I will definitely make an appointment to see the doctor. Just know that I'm praying for you. I know the holidays can be difficult in there, but you're not alone. 2020 has been difficult, but we have been so blessed, and so we don't want the trials that we go through to override us looking at our blessings. So, and I know you're grateful, and I am too. So we're just gonna step into this new year in gratitude and just be thankful that we're still alive. Nothing that came in 2020 has taken us out. So we have opportunity, baby. So with that being said, just know I'm here by your side. I love you. I'm praying for you. And also to your old Sally, Terrell Edwards at East Town. Keep your head up too. I know it's your first holiday without your dad. Just know I'm praying for your strength. All right. Love you all.
Thank you. We're ready for Miss Hannah's call. Oh, Miss Hannah.
Hi, this is a message for Ridi Medrano at Polanski. Hey fella, so it's Monday 7th, 4:30 p.m. here. I hope you're well and that your week has got off to a good start. I know by the time you hear this, it will nearly be the weekend, so I hope that goes good for you too. I will begin with a quick thank you for all your lovely mail I've had recently. The smile has been big on this little face. You're doing real good, Guy. I can only hope that mine has the same effect on you. Fingers crossed. So things are good here. Christmassy weather is pretty much in full effect. It's around -1, -2 every night now. So the only thing we're missing is some snow, but there is still time. Have been working flat out, so pleased to have an evening off this evening and tomorrow free as well. Have arranged to see Candy in the morning just to take her out for coffee and see how she's doing. This year is obviously their first year since Joshua passed away, so understandably the usual Christmas spirit is somewhat lacking in their household this year. Mum and Dad send their best wishes to you and hope you're keeping well. They're preoccupied with kitting out the new pub and bar in the garden, so that is keeping the oldies out of trouble. Perhaps you should join them. Sadie also told me to send you a hello as well. Apart from that, there's nothing to tell really. The days are just full of work, and a little bit more work. So yeah, that's it really. Make sure to take good care. Don't forget to wrap up warmer if you're going out. Don't make me tell you off again. Stay positive and in good spirits. I know you usually are anyway. And I'm sending you so much love and many hugs. I will write you in the week and look forward to hearing from you too. Okay, I'll be thinking of you. Thank you, everyone.
All right, thank you. I want to remind everybody that coming Monday, two weeks from tonight, Monday the 21st, we will be doing the Christmas show, which is going to be all shout outs. So get all your friends and family, get them all on the phone, make sure they get on the Zoom with us. If your friends don't know how to get on, help them get on and tell them to go to the Facebook page for the link, that sort of thing. Folks, also go to the Facebook page, not just like the page, but follow the page. Click on follow so that we see more of what goes on with the page and more people get the information, that sort of thing, and we know about it. So at any rate, 2 weeks from tonight, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., we'll be doing an all shout-out show for Christmas, and it will play on Christmas night. Friday night is a Christmas night this year, or Christmas is on a Friday this year. So be sure and get everybody you know on these calls. It's very important. It's an important night for the guys, and you know we just want everybody that can possibly get on to get on and do a shout-out. Normally we get about 30 shout-outs on in an hour. So we should be able to get about 60 on that night. So everybody, tell your friends, share it on your Facebook. Okay, let me see. Where are we now? We are ready for, Di Conklin, who also is a good friend of Michael Allen's and an activist in her own right and great friend of the Prison Show and part of the Prison Show gang here. Hi, Di. You got to unmute. You have to unmute. There you go.
Now can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Hi. I just want to say that I love all of you who are listening tonight. I love each and every one of you. I hope things get better for you very soon. I have a special love for Gabriel. I'm sorry I have not been there for you. This has been a very tough year for me, which is probably a stupid thing to say to y'all, but for me it's been really bad. I would like to say something about our brother Michael Allen. He left us too soon. I will miss him forever. He was my mentor. He was my hero. But mostly he was my friend. He taught me so many things. He taught me about so many things, but mostly he taught me about myself. I believe that to honor him, we must continue to do his good work. I know we are getting a lot of questions about the Christmas at the jail, and I know that the Prison Show is definitely working on trying to get that going. We got a late start on it this year, not anticipating the loss of Michael, but I believe we will have that event in his honor on December the 24th, is my understanding. But help if you can. But find something, whatever you're called to, whatever you're called to, just do it. Go do the work. There's so many people that need so much right now. So just do it. Just find a place and start helping. Michael always told me service was its own reward. I believe that Ray instilled that in him, and I believe it's true. So I'm just gonna say goodbye to my friend until we meet again.
Thank you, Di. Okay, we're ready for Miss Caitlin's call.
This is a shout out for Beto Garza in Pelkey. Hey Boo, how are you? I hope that you're in good health, spirits, staying safe and positive, and that there is a smile on your handsome face. My mom is asking for you. She says hi, and everything is good with me. Today it is super cold. It is something like 32 degrees, and I'm thinking that pretty soon, as well as feeding the cats, I may be feeding some penguins which will drop by to say hello. Today I'm going to listen to our radio show, and after that I'm going to head up to Elaine's. I want to get Milo his birthday present. His birthday is on December 8th, so I'm thinking I'm just going to get him minutes for his phone, which I think will be the best thing to do, as he is at that age. He's kind of getting hard to buy for. Other than that, everything is going good. Please know that you're in my heart, thoughts, and prayers each and every day, and that I'm so thankful that you're in my life. Sending you the biggest hug wrapped up in love and magic. Good night and sweet dreams. And to everybody at the prison show, a big thank you for making this happen.
Well, thank you. Natalia. Well, she was moving. I don't see her moving now. It must be just a picture. And I don't hear her. Okay, so let's go. Pardon me?
I don't see any audio.
Oh,
She's just
okay.
3 dots up there. She don't have any audio.
Okay. All right. Then we're going to go ahead and go with Mike Lewis and tell Natalia you have to turn on your audio.
Okay, hello everybody. Just want to do a salute to the Pearl Harbor. I'm wearing the USS Texas hat. Went through 2 world wars. Captain Tom and I are trying to save the ship. And a salute to all the veterans that died on Pearl Harbor and the ones that are still living. And a special salute to Michael Allen, a Navy veteran. Now here's some shout outs. The guys at Texas, Dennis Hope, Jamie Cuppett, Stephen Russell, Guy Alexander. Shout out to Michelle Bateman, Manuel Marino, Michael Marino, Haas, K Money, Jovan, Philip Perez, Philip in Dallas. Special shout out to Tasha. Wants me to do shout out to Payday. Shout out to Oz, Thomas, Matt. Here's some more shout outs to Edward Rees, Adam Wilkerson, Barry Barrett, and Alexander Medina, Juan Lopez, Samuel Harris, Wayman Spriggs, Ernest Matthews, Roland G. Lopez, Robert Satillo, Raymond Lee Cart, Ramirez, Kenneth Keble, Edward Darrell Harmon, Joseph Johnson Jr., Leo Caballo, okay, Anthony Horn, Joseph Damaco Carter, Bobby DeLego, George Gordon, Stephen Hollenberg, Kevin Dwayne Rivers. Okay, Zachary Walker, Stephen M. McGee, and a special shout out to Clarence Lee Bowman. Hopefully you're recovering well from your open heart surgery. Robert L. Allen, John R. Green, and Fred D. La Raza, and last but not least, Christopher Dye. And now back to the sacrificial lamb on the world famous KPFT.
All right, we're ready for Miss Lydia's call.
Morning, this shout out is for Beto. Hola, mijo. It's Monday, 10 a.m. on the 7th. And I've already been out and about running some errands. I'm here at home, and I will be home all day with Bingo, who is still going through his anxiety attacks. And if he doesn't straighten up, I'm fixing to give him up for adoption. Just joking. Not much going on. It's been kind of cool. The sun is shining though right now. It's hot. It's going to probably be in the high 70s. It was 48 this morning, but there's no rain, so it doesn't feel as cold. Although it rained yesterday. Yesterday was Mariano's birthday. I saw his car over at Tia Rosa's early in the morning, so I called him early and wished him a happy birthday. Tia Early's back from Austin, I'm sure, and she's back at work today. And Grant left up to Elma's to Kel Allen on Saturday. He brought me Charlotte's plants, and he took 2 motorcycles over to the shop. So he's gone up there for a good while, I think, to Elma's, and then he's going to be going up to see Valerie up in Kansas. I will get Elma's address so you can write to him up there, okay? I sent you Tio Coca's address in a JPay on Sunday night. I sent you a JPay. And I will be sending you a snail mail tomorrow with the list of commissary that I bought with the roast beef tips and other items, and the Lakeside order that came in. It's a big box, but there's really not much in there, okay? And I'll be here at home today, mijo, working from home. I love you and I miss you. You take care of yourself. And we're all doing good. We're all fine. Theo Jr. is still out on not working. He was at the doctor's this morning. Okay? Take care. My saludos to all the guys. And I want to thank everybody that makes this possible. Bye. Love you, mijo.
Natalia, we're ready for you now. Unmute and come to us.
Okay. Oh, thank you so much. I just want to tell my husband and Darrington that we love him very much, and whenever visits are start, we will be there. And I want to tell him keep up the good work and God be with you and the men there. And want to say anything to Dad? I love you, Dad. That's it. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
We're ready for Tiffany's call.
Hello, this is Tiffany calling for Rodney Reed at the Pelkey unit. Hey, Rodney, I hope you are doing well and staying safe and healthy. I am checking in to make sure you received the JPays I sent you last week. If you haven't received them, hopefully they will arrive soon. The most important one was the one that I wrote Friday afternoon. And it looks like everything is moving forward on the 11th. And so I will let you know how that goes. And that's it. Just letting you know that we're thinking about you and working hard for you. And thank you, everybody at KPFT, for doing the show each week. Good night, everybody. Goodbye, Rodney.
Okay. Let's see. Where are we now? Judy. Hey, Judy. Judy. More Judy. All right, Judy, we're going to move.
I'm good. It wasn't letting me unmute. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
I am calling to shout out to Rodney Reed. Hey, R, I love you and miss you. I am so glad you were able to speak to your mom last week. She was so excited to hear from you, and I'm glad that you're staying strong. She called me as soon as she got done speaking with you and relayed all the messages. Excuse me. I sent you a JPay today with all of the updates that you will get before you hear this shout out. So those were the important things that I needed you to know about. Tonight, I just wanted you to be able to hear my voice and know that I'm thinking about you and missing you. MB is doing all right, and hopefully we'll be home by the time you hear this message. Mom is doing okay, not much change. Definitely things are progressing. I'm doing all right, just continuing to stay present. I am so thankful that Jimmy is here and is able to be with her while I go to work. I hope you received batch 64. By now, Mom said you hadn't received it when you talked to her. It arrived at Pelkey on Tuesday morning at 8:36. So they definitely have it. If not, I will follow up with them and check. That's pretty much all the updates. Just want you to know I miss you and love you. Sending you lots of hugs and kisses. Stay strong, keep the faith, continue to hope and dream. Our dreams are alive and well. I'm thinking of you and praying for you. 560 and 626. Good night and sweet, sweet dreams. I love you, Rodney. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful week.
Thank you. You too. We're ready for Vicky's call now. Mute, Judy.
Hey, this is Chuck. Just calling for Big Chris and Popeye and Fly and Poncho down there on that Darrington unit, man. Like to give them a shout out. Let them know, man, it feels good to be out here. My mom's doing all right. Everything's going good. I'm cutting for you. Going to have some stuff coming to you for Christmas, Chris. Say, man, I love you. I appreciate everything you did. Poncho, let Smiley know I'm going to come his way. Gonna try to get some stuff done for y'all boys in there. And y'all are going to let Silent know I'm gonna do the same coming that way. And you boys take care. Chris, say, man, it's crazy out here, man. It's real crazy out here. Like it's like a whole nother world out here. I've got so many touchscreen phones and laptops that I don't know what to do. It's so confusing. I just turn them off and call people. I spoke with Francis. I told her to let you know, but yeah, man, they let Tebow out, man. They sent him over there to Styles unit. He's in GP. So just so you know, they did go ahead and grant him his. I don't know what they're gonna do with you, but you make sure and let me know. Papa, man, I love you. Make sure you get that book from Chris. I'm gonna get y'all boys some letters and some pictures in the mail. Like I said, it's crazy. I'm on this ankle monitor. I can't leave the house. I can't even go outside to throw trash away. It's bad, man. They got me locked down for real. They said it's the worst stipulations they've ever seen anybody get. Everything's going good. Mom's doing good. There's Mom right there. She says hi. Says she loves y'all still. And Mom does want to try to get Francis up here for Christmas if you're willing. That's up to you. I love you boys. Y'all take care, man. Y'all don't give too many people problems. And Popeye, man, don't try not to be dancing with that cane, man. I know how you can't resist it. Anyway, I love you. I'm gonna let y'all go, man. Bye.
Jessica, it's your turn.
Hello, Prison Show. Thanks
Hello.
once again for making these calls possible. I know my husband was really excited last time, so thank you all very, very much. So this message is for my husband, Robert Ramos, and his boys in A-Line at Barrington. Hope y'all are doing good. Well, babe, I'm so happy you were finally able to call after a month, which seemed like months to me. I love you so much. Hey, babe, my suegra is really upset at you because you haven't written to her. I told her you were a real busy man, but she says I need to stop defending you, so please get to it and write to her. Kiddos miss you and love you. Can't wait to have you home. And of course, Nikki sleeps with Trip. She doesn't even let me hold him. Well, babe, I did receive some of your mail this Saturday, and you have no idea how special, how happy, how loved you make me feel with your letters. Well, my love, I hope this message puts that beautiful smile back on your handsome face. I love you so much, mi amor, always and forever and past forever. I hope you have a good night, baby. I love you. Mwah. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Miss Gwen.
I didn't go by what I wrote. I kept
Hi,
messing up.
can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, this is for Jason at the Darrington unit. Hey, babe, how are you? Hey, stop reading your book for just a little bit. Or maybe you fell asleep. Wake up. Okay, now that I have your attention, I hope you're doing good and staying warm. It's super chilly tonight. I really could use your arms around me, keeping me warm about now. Okay, getting to business. Everyone out here is good. I was really happy today when I went to the mailbox. I can't believe you fell asleep and missed the call last week. So here's what you missed. Daisha wanted me to tell you hi. And with that being Thanksgiving week, I want to tell you how thankful I am every day that our lives made the full, rather large circle back to each other. You're my best friend. It is still so remarkable to me that we had this chance to know each other again. I'll say it's a lot of fun this time. We're definitely not starting off on what some would say is normal, but there's a lot of fun in not being normal, right? I'm thankful that even though we wish circumstances were different, we can see the blessing or blessings in it. I'm thankful that you're letting me go through this with you. It's almost 3 years since the first letter I sent you. Can you believe it? We're building a strong foundation that, despite the things that seem to be in our way, like the physical walls themselves, the lack of phone calls, this virus taking our visits away, despite these things, our foundation is getting stronger and stronger. And you're getting closer to God. I was so happy to read that you're about finished with Project 345. I'm so proud of you. And I'll admit that you've done better than me at it. Happy Thanksgiving, honey. Hope next year will be different and our first together. I love you so much and can't wait till the next step in our journey. Oh yeah, did you remember to open your card? I sent you a letter today and I've got my phone with me 24/7. Hugs and kisses and sweet dreams every night until you're home. Good night, baby. I love you. Thank you guys for doing this every week.
All right. Well, we're happy to do it. Thank you. Folks, I want to remind everybody, 2 weeks from tonight, the Christmas show will be pre-recorded on Monday evening, the 21st at 7 p.m. till 9 p.m. All shout outs. So everybody that's listening can get their friends on, get their family on, get everybody on. We'll have room for roughly 60 calls that night. So that's a great thing we do every year. And this year, it just happens to fall on Christmas night, so it's even more special to the guys. So I just want everybody to be aware of that and take part. Marie. Marie?
Hey. This shout out is for my husband, Paul David at the Ferguson unit. Hola, babe. Espero que estés bien. Let's see. I had a really busy day. It was like super cold. Pero, yeah, anyways. Just wanted to tell you that. And tell you that I love you and I miss you. Hopefully you'll be able to call again soon. Pero, como quiera. Paciencia, ya sabes. But anyways, Linda wasn't able to log on tonight. Pero te manda saludos. She loves and misses you. By now, ya sabes por qué. I probably already told you on the JPay. But anyways, te me cuidas and Hope to hear from you soon. 사랑해, babe. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Okay, let me see. iPhone Claudia.
Hi, sir. Good evening.
Good evening.
Okay. This message is for my husband, Gregorio Lozoya, de Polosky. Hi, my love. How are you? I'm okay. Today I send you two letters. I hope that everything is okay with you. Remember always, I love you too much. I send you a lot of kisses. I miss you. And take care, my love. I love you. I love you. I love you. Okay. God bless you. And take care, please. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Okay.
Okay.
Have a nice weekend. And thank you, sir. Have a
Thank you.
wonderful week. Bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Cecilia.
Hi.
Hey.
Okay. So this message is for my stepdad, Andres Vargas, in the FDC Houston. And I just wanted to let you know that I love you and I miss you. And I hope that you're doing good. I know you're going through a lot right now, but just stay strong for everybody. We're all rooting for you. We hope you're doing great and that we get to hear from you soon. We love you. Bye.
Thank you. Giovanna. Oh, Giovanna. Unmute and come to us.
Hey, Hank, it's me.
How you doing?
Sorry. This message is also for Andres at FTC Houston. Hey, baby. I hope you're doing better now. By the time you hear our message, I hope that your health is better and that you're still with us. I know you're strong, so we're all praying for you. You have a sea of people praying for you. We have so many people, so just maybe stay strong. And someone wants to say hi to you.
Hey, brother, man, keep your head up, man. Try to stay positive, and you're a strong guy, so I know you can do it. Hope to hear from you soon, and aquí estamos, brother. I love you a lot, so you got a lot to live for, so keep strong, brother.
Love you. Bye, baby. Thank you, Hank.
Thank you. Catherine Haynes. Catherine.
Hi.
Hi.
My shout out is to John Weatherly in the Polinsky unit. This is Catherine Haynes. I'm hoping by now you've received my letter, the one that I sent Thanksgiving week. I pray to God there's a letter headed my way. I just wanted to give you a shout out and let you hear my voice, hear the words straight from my lips. I love you, John. I love you so much. I'm thinking of you every single day. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're healthy and have a grin on your chin. I pray your family is doing well, and I hope they're all still COVID-free. Again, I love you. I love you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Stacy.
Yes, this is to my husband, Sporty Black at East Town Unit. Hey, baby, this is your wife on a Monday night, kissing you our Friday night blues chaser, all calm and strength to each other. It'd be nice to hear your voice on my end, though. Maybe you'll be my Christmas present all up in my ear. Yeah, I hope so. I trust all is well with you. As for the girls, they're taking in all this weather that's a thin layer of snow. You know I'm not too keen on it, but I tolerate it because you and the girls like it. You know I'm ready for spring already. As for me, I'm doing okay. I've this JPay headache calling and emailing them today as well as last week, and it's still not straight. So baby, bear with me until I get it straight. Or they do. It's on their end. I sent you monies, so make sure you get receipt of it. And I've been hearing from you sort of consistently. Sort of meaning some are not sealed, and I get the latter dates before I get the earlier dates, but what matters is I'm getting them. I've got the 11th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 22nd times 2, 23rd, 24th, 26th, and 29th, and 30th. Yeah, boo. Also, that important doctor appointment on December the 29th. So be looking out for me. Yeah. You know who to touch base with. And you can also drop another sugar cookie for us. Yeah. You know I had to pinch you with that one. Now, baby, hold on to your eats and your electronics. Other than this, all is well. I'm just ready to see that handsome face. And there's no news on the video visits here, but when I hear something, I'll let you know when I know. Yeah, babe, you know, I'm out here thinking of you always, and missing us. I finally got my real ID license back today, too, so, you know, I'm ready to get on that plane when it's go time. Sweetheart, stay tough, stay focused, remain healthy and safe. You know you rule me as I reign in you. You got me tight and solid. Sweetheart, take care. I love you so much. Mwah. I love you. Mwah.
Thank you, Stacy. Folks, I want to remind you about the two Mondays from tonight, 7 to 9 p.m., the Christmas show. Be sure and tell everybody they can get their shout outs on that night. Captain Tom, you need to mute? Okay, thank you. At any rate, that, and we are in what is called a quiet drive. So what I have to do is pitch a little bit here real quick. Call 713-526-5738 with a pledge in any amount. If you can do $5 a month, great. That's great. We love it. If you can do 20, that's even better. We love it just as much. They're all equal to us because they're all donations to keep this thing going, and that's what we need. You can also go to kpft.org, click the red donate button, and make a safe pledge there. Be sure and designate it for the prison show. There's a little drop-down menu there that you can select the prison show from. It's the prison show. And if you call 713-526-5738, you'll get a business that answers the phones for us and takes the pledges so that we don't, we never have your credit card number, and they're safe and secure and all that. So and also let them know it's for the prison show. Okay, so I've done my soft pitching. Now let me see if I can get back in line here. Well, Captain Tom, you ready to do your shout outs?
Yeah, I just got here, so just got back from my DAB meeting, so I'm not quite prepared.
Oh, okay.
However, I will say this, and I'm going to give a shout out to my homeless veterans and my incarcerated veterans. But also, I would like to say a few words about Michael Allen, if that's okay with everybody else.
Please do.
All right. Michael Allen was a veteran, and he was a good man. In my opinion, he was, one of the best that I have come across. And he lost his life to cancer. And we give thanks every day that we are still alive and well. But there are some who have suffered, and Michael Allen has suffered through his ordeal. I have given him words of encouragement on Facebook, and I was even going to go up to the VA, but they would not allow me to see him. But in any case, I give my hand salute and my prayers to him and his family. And he has crossed over like Ray Hill and Dewey. So thank you.
Okay, thank you. Now, where am I? All right, we're ready to go with 0687. 0687. There you go.
Bueno.
Bueno.
Buenas noches.
Buenas noches.
¿Cómo está usted, Mr. Hank?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Oh, I'm doing great too. Very
Good.
good.
Thank God.
Thank you, Mr. Hank. Hola. Estos saludos para mi hijo Jan Ramírez, hola mi niño hermoso, ¿cómo ha estado mi hijo? Ya sabe que aquí, deseándole lo mejor para mi hijo, mandándole muchos besos y abrazos, porque es mi niño hermoso, mi hijo preferido, mi niño hermoso, ya sabe que lo amo tanto y usted es especialmente para mí, mi hijo. Sabe que siempre lo tengo en mi corazón, en mis oraciones, siempre está usted en mí, siempre estoy pensando en usted, hijo. Aquí siempre estaré para usted, para ayudarle, para lo que usted necesite, mi hijo. Aquí siempre estaré, nunca te abandonaré, mi hijo. Solo te puedo decir, mi hijo, que cuando usted esté triste, acuérdese de su creador. Y también acuérdese que aquí hay una persona y está Sergio y todos que lo amamos tanto, mi hijo. No está solo usted. Parece que está solo, pero usted no está solo. Hay personas que lo aman, hijo. Que no tienen tiempo de meterse y hablar, pero ¿sabe qué, hijo? Lo tienen en sus corazones, en sus oraciones. Eso es lo principal, ¿verdad? Pero usted, mi hijo, cuídese mucho. No quiero que se me vaya a enfermar. Cuídese mucho. Aquí nosotros todos estamos bien. Gracias a Dios nos estamos cuidando porque la situación está terrible con eso de la enfermedad. Su hijo está bien, no se preocupe, ya regresaron a la escuela otra vez, ¿verdad? Pero están bien ellos no salen solo de la casa a la escuela. Su hijo está bien, usted no se preocupe por su hijo, usted solo cuídese usted mucho, cuídese mucho, mijito, sabe que lo queremos mucho y usted nos hace falta, ¿me entiende? Porque si usted no está, nosotros sufrimos, hijo, y usted tiene que estar para nosotros, así como nosotros para usted. Así que, mi hijito, cuídese mucho, échele muchas ganas en la oración, no pierda su fe, en eso le pido que le eche muchas ganas, en su oración, en su fe, en su creador, y recuerde que aquí hay personas que lo amamos tanto, y aquí siempre yo estaré a su lado, mi hijo, siempre estaré con usted. Así que, mi niño hermoso, cuídese mucho, por favor, le ruego que se cuide mucho. Y le mando muchos besos y abrazos, mi hijo. Sabe que lo amo tanto. Y salúdenme a los muchachos, mi hijo, a Félix, a Edgardo y a Joseph Jean, por favor. Y a usted, muchos besos y abrazos, mi niño hermoso. Hasta pronto, mi hijo. Hasta el otro lunes, si Dios quiere, te vuelvo a marcar, hijo. Que Dios te bendiga y te cuide siempre y te mantenga siempre, mi niño hermoso. Hasta pronto, mi hijo. Adiós. Gracias, Mr. Hank, por el programa, por
Thank you.
permitirme saludar a mi hijo. Gracias. Buenas noches.
Buenas noches. 5811. 5811.
Hi. This
Hi.
is a
Hello? I'm not sure what happened there. I don't see her now. 6657. 6657. One more time. 6657. Unmute and come to us. Okay, I'll come back to you.
Hello? Hello?
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
I'm sorry I couldn't get you unmuted. This is Julie from Georgia. Do a shout out to my nephew Wesley at the Polinsky unit. Want to tell you hi, sweetheart. Thinking about you. Sitting here playing cards till it was time to talk and listen to everybody. I got your letter yesterday. I wrote you tonight, so you should be getting it hopefully in a few days. I wish I could send you a Christmas card. Kind of sucks that we can't. I hope you're doing good. We're all doing fine. Tassa and Mary want to say hi. Hi, Wesley. Everybody else is in the bed or the baby's crying. So, but want you to know that we're thinking about you. Talked to Teresa today, and they're doing good. Daniel also. So, like I said, I got your letter. I'll write you. I spoke to your dad for a little bit yesterday, and I hope he gets through to you too. He said all he could hear was music. He couldn't hear anyone talking, so hopefully he got through. So God bless you, keep you safe, and I will be making that call on the 21st so that you'll have it for Christmas. I love you, Wes. Good night, you guys.
Good night. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
9874. 9874.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, just
I just want to do a shout out to my son there, Wes and Polanski. Wes, I'm doing better, so don't be worrying. Still got a little cough, but that's about it. Got your birthday card that you sent me. Thank you very much, and the gifts. They're really great. Really, really, really appreciate you. Always on point. Just want to let you know we love you, son, and we're always thinking of you and always prayed up for you. So keep the faith, stay strong, and know that we love you out here and everybody's doing fine. And here's Miss Paula. She'll say a few things to you.
Hey, Sweet Wesley. I love the Dreamcatcher. Oh, it's beautiful. We just been hanging out here doing things around here. Supposed to go tomorrow. Go do grocery shopping for my mom. And then start doing her Christmas shopping. That's going to be a lot of fun. I order mine online and I have to go get in all that crowd to go look for her stuff. But we're doing okay. Animals are all doing good. My mom's doing good. So just thinking about you all the time. Take care, and I'll write you soon. And I love you.
Okay,
Good night.
thank you. Good night. Heather.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, good evening. How is everybody tonight?
Well, I think we're all doing great.
Great. My shout out is to my son, Sean Williams, at Darrington Unit, and to all the guys on A-Line. I hope everybody's staying warm and keeping each other uplifted. Shawnee boy, it was wonderful to hear your voice the other day. I finally got a phone call after about 30 days, so it was nice to hear from you. Madwood sends his hellos too, and Benton. Steve-O, I've got some nice Christmas things coming your way, some sardines and hot sauce with the whole shebang chips and some purple smash to make your holidays a little brighter. And I was cleaning out the car today and realized I found a couple of envelopes that
Hold on just a second, Heather.
Okay.
9874, you need to mute. 9874, please mute. Go ahead, Heather.
Okay. Shawnee, I was cleaning out the car today and found
Kathy Newton, please mute. Oh, there we go. All right, try again, Heather.
Am I back on? All right, am I good to go?
Yes, you are.
Okay. So Sean, anyway, I was cleaning out the car today and found 2 envelopes with pictures in them that I had meant to send 2 weeks ago and never did. So you're going to be getting these pictures that I already wrote about. So all the timing's going to be off. But anyway, the letters are in the mail now, so that's good. They're on their way. Hello, John Music. Happy holidays. You'll be hearing from me soon. And I hope all of you guys on A-Line are doing well, and I hope God shines down upon all of you. And I hope you give thanks and praise God for your many blessings. There are many people out here in the free world who love you, care about you, miss you, and are cheering you on. I love you, Sean. Good night. Good night to A-Line. Y'all stay strong. And Steve-O, don't forget to practice your bird calls, okay? Good night. Love you.
Good night. Okay. Let me see. 5811. Wait, was what 5811? Did I get you?
Oh, yes, our phone died.
Okay.
Anyway, this shout out is to Isidro. Hey, mijo, it's me, mommy. I just want to tell you that I love you and I miss you very much. I know I need to write to you and send you some pictures and things like that, but things have been a little hectic here with doctor's appointments, but I'm okay. I'm alive, and I can't wait to see you. I wish this virus would just go away, but I know it's not going to happen overnight. You just take care in there and just stay strong and stay safe. And I love you very, very much, my baby. And pass the phone to Dad. Just take care, please. I love you.
Hey, mijo, I love you, and you take care in there. And your tia Cirilla said to tell you hi, and she loves you, and for you to keep your head up and just stay strong. But either way, mijo, we'll go see you as soon as this is over. I guess supposedly they're gonna start giving injections, but maybe pretty soon, mijo. So you take care. I love you. Good night. Here's your mommy.
Good night, mijo. Thank you, everybody. It was a special anniversary for us. Thank you,
What's the
guys.
anniversary?
Thank you.
What,
Good night,
what's the
mijo.
anniversary?
30 years.
Boy, oh boy.
Yeah, 30 years. As old as my son is. But I thank y'all so much. Thank you. Good night,
Well,
everybody.
Congratulations on the anniversary.
Thank you so much. I really needed to hear that.
Well, you know, you're always got friends here at the show.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good night, mijo. I love you.
5417. 5417. Need to unmute. Okay, let's go. 5032, did I get you? 5032? Was it getting late? Everybody's asleep? Kathy Newton. Oh, 5032? There you are.
Oh, sorry. Just wanted to give a shout out to my brother Art, Arturo Garza in the Pelkey unit. Brother, I'm sorry I haven't called in these past 2 weeks. I got sick. I'm still sick. I'm just trying to stay positive and been quarantining myself for a whole week already. So just wanted to call you really quick and hope you're doing okay, let you know what was going on. I'm doing good. I'm doing a lot better. But that's why I haven't called in. So I hope you're doing good, brother. Don't worry about me. I'm fine. Getting taken care of. So I miss you. As soon as I get better, I'll write to you and send you more pictures. And just wanted to let you know, brother, that you are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, brother, how much we love you and miss you. Please don't take our sunshine away. I love you, brother. I hope you're doing good, and I will call in next week and hope to hear from you soon. So take care. Love you. Thank you, Prison Show.
Kathy Newton, you got about 30 seconds.
Hi, Prison Show. My shout outs to Randy Strickland. Randy, I love you very much. He's on Pelkey, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you, Prison Show.
Thank you. 5417, you've got about 30 seconds. 5417. Okay, we're out of time. Folks, we want to thank you for tuning in. Be sure and tune in 2 weeks from tonight for the Christmas show. Get your shout outs ready. Tell everybody in your family and all your friends.
Stay tuned for Rebel Radio.
Thank you again.
Hello, Mama. Christmas greetings from prison. I hope this letter finds you doing alright. It's your baby boy sending you love and kisses from your son who's serving life. I'll be coming home for Christmas, Mama. If only in my mind, behind the walls of this old prison, holidays, just broken sleeping time. Inmate world, it ain't easy. Running scared, living life day by day. Being locked up in this cage called prison. No holiday gifts from Santa on Christmas Day. I'll be coming home for Christmas, mama.